Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ithaqua's Bane, bringing you gaming goodness, and we're back with The Unseen World, a game by Thomas P. King about ghost hunting and paranormal research in modern day Japan. In the last video, we kind of introduced the game. We created our character. We created the first town that we are going to, which is Kawatana, down here in the Kyushu district, northwest Kyushu of Japan. In the last video, we also generated the NPCs and all the items, and off camera, I did all the names. Now, according to the rules, you're supposed to generate the NPCs and the items when you visit each individual location, which I think it makes sense because you don't know what's there. But I found that interrupted the momentum of actually playing the game and doing the research and the investigation. So I created all of them at the start. It does take away some of that surprise, and you kind of know where the best place to go. But I think, I don't know, for me, it's a trade-off. You're losing that surprise and maybe the element of going to a place and there's nothing there for you to find. But like I say, I'd rather that the gameplay for this gameplay video is a smooth flowing process. So we have in Kawatana, we have 3 locations. We have the harbour, the temple, and the shopping street. Of course, these aren't the only locations, but these are the ones where it has potential to help me for my investigation. We have 2 haunt locations, 2 potential cases that we can investigate. We've got the river, which has no additional aspects, so it's a plain haunting. We also have the abandoned school, which has the aspect of cold, so I get a -1 to any research checks in that location. Okay, speaking of research, so what you're going to do is when you start the game, you're going to arrive at the town on the main street, and then you go to the locations or even the haunt location to try and generate information. Research. And that can be done 3 ways. Excuse me. Where is it? Research. Oh, here we go. So first thing is you can inquire. So to do that, you go to a location and you basically try to have a conversation with an NPC, trying to find out what they know. Now, if you fail the research check, you can't use that NPC again for that case. So for example, let's say to start with, I'm investigating the river. I go to the first NPC at this location and I ask them, do I have any information? I fail the research check, I can't use them again. But I can use them for the next case. I can also go to them and ask them about information regarding the other case, okay? If you succeed, you will get the first or second or third piece of information. But you also have to put a cross next to the NPC. It says here. So if you succeed a research check, write a plus in the NPC's tick box. What that means is that they've helped you. If you ask them for more information about the case, it's going to be harder. They'll get a -2 to their modifier. So for example, if this first NPC, if I did a check and it succeeded, I get information from them, but now if I ask them again, they're going to be at a -3 to the check instead of a -1. You can only ask them 2 times. After the second time you cross them out, they haven't got no more information. But once you've closed the first case, when you come to do the second case, you actually erase all the ticks and the markings, and you can actually use these things again, the NPCs. The second thing you can do is to search for information, and what this means is you try to get information from the location itself, whether it is online, whether it is from some kind of library or access to records or books. Normally you have no modifier for that, but if it's a location that has the info keyword, which we don't, you get a bonus to the roll. The third way that you can generate information is to actually go to the haunt location itself and do what's called a probe. So you search the haunt location to look for information. You've got to make a fear check and then make a research check. But if you succeed, you get 2 pieces of information instead of 1. Now, what does this information mean? Well, the first piece of information that you find basically gives you the cause of the haunting. There'll be a keyword: murder, suicide, fire, earthquake, curse, or unknown. The second piece of information you find is going to be related to that keyword of the cause, and it gives you a bit more information. The third piece of information basically tells you what summoning item you need. So for every haunting, in order for you to succeed, you need to have access to a certain kind of component or material: candle, incense, mirror, food, music box, spirit board. So once you've found out that third piece of information, you may have to go to the shop somewhere and purchase the summon items. Now, these summon items may get used up during the investigation, or they may survive to be used again. Well, you'll see how it works as we're playing. I don't want to explain too much. I just want to get on with it. So, we arrive at Kawatana. We arrive and we're at the high street. We haven't gone to the hotel yet. We're going to go to the hotel when the action deck runs out, because we need to sleep. If we don't sleep, we get tired and get a -1. And that's quite troublesome. Right, so I've got 3 locations, including the haunt, that I could actually, or as well as the haunt, I could try and investigate. Now, at the harbour, there is this NPC that has a +3 to the roll if I ask them for information. There's another guy who's paranoid at +1. The shopping street has a young NPC. I'm going to get a +2 because I'm a streamer. So that's also going to be a +3, a +2, +1. So the shopping street actually has 3 NPCs that all have positive modifiers. What does positive modifier mean? Well, when you do a research check or a fear check, you're going to reveal the top card of the challenge deck. That's going to give you your target number that you need to get equal to or higher to succeed at whatever check. You will then have, so you're going to have a hand of 4 cards from your action deck. You can then play one of your cards, add whatever modifiers, or subtract whatever modifiers. And you can also choose to push. If you push, you take the top card from the deck and you add it to your current total. Now, of course, you don't know what the top card's going to be, so that's always a risk. And since the challenge deck has 6s, 7s, and 8s and a single 5, and your action deck has 2s, 3s, and 4s and a single ace, chances are that you're not going to reach the total just based on your hand, even with the modifiers. So, again, you'll see how this works. So, I think to begin with, I think the shopping street will probably give me the best in terms of initial checks. So, so actions. Okay. So you'll be going through a series of actions. Each turn you have the following options. Each one costs 1 action. You discard a card from your hand or the top card of the action deck. If you discard a card from your hand, you have to draw a card to bring yourself back up to 4. Now the actions are rest at a hotel. So you could basically stop what you're doing, go back to the hotel and rest, and then wake up the next day with a new action deck. Move to a location. So moving from one place to another also counts as an action, so it's going to cost you a card. Spend evidence. This is where you can spend the evidence that you've collected to publish articles, to publish videos, to write chapters of your book, etc., to try and earn some more money. Buy items. Okay, so the common items are available everywhere. Common items. For uncommon and rare items, you have to actually find them in locations. Research, again, you're going to be making the rolls, and investigate is where you have collected 3 pieces of information. You go to the location and then you have to do the encounters. Let's have a think. So I'm thinking that I want to go to the shopping street first, I think. So I'm going to take my action deck. I'm going to deal myself 4 cards. That's my starting hand. Now, you don't have a lot of cards in the action deck. And again, this counts as a timer. When the action deck is empty, when you take the last card, it basically means your time's up. You need to go back to the hotel. Now, you can finish the action that you were taking before the day ends, so you're not stopped midway through doing something. But, you know, it still counts. So again, you've got to keep track of your money, because staying in a hotel is going to cost 5,000 yen. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got in our starting hand. Okay. We've got 2 4s, a 3 and a 2. What does that mean? Well, I mean, the 4s are the highest cards that I can get, so they're always useful. But by having 2 4s in my hand, it means that there's only 2 left in here. I don't have the ace. Now, the aces can increase as you go up in level or skill. Skill. But when you're starting the game, aces are useless. They're worth 1 because you only get skill 1. So I think I will... okay, so I'm going to travel to the shopping street. So I have to use... I'm going to use the 2. So I'm going to discard the 2. Let me move these over here. And discard that. That's my action. You can't really see that, can you? It's a little bit off camera, never mind. So I draw back... Oh no! So I draw back to 4. Yeah, I swapped a 2 for a 1. Never mind. Right. So I'm at the shopping street. I am going to try to get information from... I think I'll try the young NPC, who is... Kawasi Hisayo. A young female. She's paranoid, but maybe she's seen me online. So I get a +2 to the check because she's young. So I'm getting a +3. Now, we need to find out what's going to be the challenge number. So we draw the first card. Okay, so it's the 5. Now, again, it's good that it's a 5 because I'm likely to kind of overcome it. But it also means that there's no more 5s. There's only 1 in the starting deck. The rest, all of these are 6s, 7s, and 8s. All right, so I'm getting a +1. I'm getting a +2. So I've got a 3 so far. So I actually... Oh, I should have kept the 2. I could have used the 2. So if I play the ace, I'm getting a +3, total of 4. Not going to be enough, I'm going to fail, unless I push. Pushing basically means you take a card from the top of the deck and add. But again, that's going to run down my time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use... Yeah, I could have used that 2, couldn't I? I'm going to use the 3, +1, because they're paranoid, +2, because of my ability, gives me a total of 6. So I overcome this challenge. Who's that? Draw a card to bring myself back. I've got another 2. No. All right, so we've overcome that challenge. Now I do have to put a plus in that box there. So what does that mean again? Okay, so I can ask this person for more information if I need to, but they're going to get a -2 to their value. So at the moment it'll be +3, so -2 +1. So I'd only get a +1 bonus instead of a +3 bonus if I ask them again. But once I have closed a investigation, I can erase that because maybe they have information about this other place. Aha. Right, so we get our first piece of information. We're doing the river first, I think, because it doesn't have any modifiers. So, the first piece of information that we get is going to represent how the spirits died. The keyword it gives you ties into the second piece of information. Okay, so we're rolling a d6. So we go to the river. We go to the shopping street. We find this girl, a 5, a curse. So the first part for the river is a curse. All sorts of strange rumors involve a curse. Could it be real? You are no stranger to odd events, but what could conjure a real curse? And how? And what did it actually say about the, is it river? Over here, sorry. River. Water has a strange effect on the dead. They collect here but cannot cross. Okay, all right. So we've collected the first piece of information for the river from this young lady here, and it's curse. So that's going to link in terms of what's happening at the river. It's also going to link up with the second piece of information. Right, now, there's a number of options. I could buy stuff with my meager amounts of money. I've got to be honest, I think the first thing I'm going to buy is that recorder so I can get data. So I'm still at the shopping street. So what I could do is I could try to find information from the shopping street itself in terms of online research, books or data or anything like that. But it's just going to be a straightforward check. I think it's better for me to actually check with the NPCs again because I'm getting a bonus to the test. So I think I'm going to talk to this guy, a male, adult, polite. I've got a +2 with this person, no other modifiers. This is Shibata Hideo. Okay. So what is going to be the challenge? So I got up to this person and I asked them, okay, this is a 7. It's going to be a bit more difficult. So I asked them, have you heard about the river, about this curse at the river? What do you know? Have you heard anything? So we've got a challenge of 7. Now, I could play a 4, plus 2 would be 6. And then I'm going to have to push. Or, because I don't know what this could be. Now, I've used 2 2s. So there's still 2 2s left in there, so it could just get a 2. If I play a 2, plus 2 is 4. I need this to be a 3 or 4. I've got no guarantees of that happening though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of my 4s. Plus the 2 for the NPC makes it 6. So I'm not there yet. But I will push. Oh, it was a 3. I could have used my 2. So I push. So I've used another card. So that makes it 7, 8, 9. So I overcome this challenge. These cards go back into the discard pile. I draw back up to 4. One of each now. But we do get that second piece of information. And again, this person, you put across there. Again, I can ask them for more information, but I'm going to get a -2, which means it'll be a 0 modifier next time. Right. For the second piece of information, you've got to link it with that keyword. So we had curse. So for the second piece of information, we go to the curse table, roll a d6, get a 1. Heritage. The victim's family has a morbid history of deaths under similar circumstances. The townsfolk avoid this family, believing them all cursed. All right, well, I mean, maybe it's a fishing thing. Maybe they're cursed. They've got a history of maybe ships sinking or something in the river or at the sea. Okay, so we got a keyword of heritage. Now, of course, you can really flesh out the stories, the journaling with this kind of game. I'm not going to be doing that in this example. I just want to show you how the game works. But okay, so we've got a mix of cards here. We've got 2 pieces of information. We've got one more piece left to find. Do I want to stay here? I've got one more NPC that I could ask at a +1. Or I could travel to the harbour. There's somebody there with a +3. I think that's a good idea, isn't it? So I'm going to travel from the shopping street to the harbour. So that's going to cost me a card. So I'm going to get rid of my ace because it's useless at the moment. At low levels, ace is useless. Refresh my hand. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So I'm now at the seaside. How many cards have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4. I may not have enough to actually do the investigation. Because I may have to do the investigation tomorrow. So yeah, when you do an investigation, you've got to do a number of encounters equal to the activity level. Both of mine are activity level 5. I've got to do 5 encounters, which is another test. It's a fear test instead. If your action deck runs out during this action, even at the very end of the investigation, reshuffle your discard pile into a new deck, but discard the top 4 cards, placing them above the deck to indicate these are still considered in the discard pile. Late at night, you push on, you do not become tied. If the deck runs out again, reshuffle, but you do become tied. So I'm thinking that I've got 4 cards left. I do have the option of recycling the deck, but I'm losing 4 cards. So it may be worth just resting for the night. Once I've got the third piece of information, resting for the night, recycling my action pile so I can do the investigation the next day. I think that makes a little bit more sense. I'd like to have done it in one day, to be honest, but never mind. Right, so we've used the card. We're now at the harbour. I've got 4 cards back. Now I want to talk to this person here, this female adult who's very friendly, got a +3. And this is Suwa Sadako. Maybe she's working at the harbour master's office or something. Maybe she knows something about what's going on. So we're going to ask them about this, ask them about the river, about the sea, about all these accidents and the curse, about this family. Right, the challenge is a 6. We're getting a +3 to the roll. Oh, sorry, +3 to the test. So I just need to play the 3 card and we're done. So we've succeeded. Bonk, that goes there. That goes there. I need to draw back up to my maximum. Only got 3 cards left. But we do get the 3rd piece of information. Now the 3rd piece of information is going to tell me what I need to do the investigation. Dum dum. In terms of the summoning material. So a D6. We get a 2. Incense. The self-proclaimed experts agree that burning incense is the best way to summon the spirit. One ghost hunter claims that he spoke to it for an hour using a particular scent, but he just happens to sell it on his website. All right, so we need incense. And incense we can buy anywhere, so there'll be a shop nearby where we can get it. It costs 500. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is a chance that the material will be used up during the investigation. So I don't want to get 2. Yeah, let's get 2. So I'm going to go to the, oh, that's another action, isn't it? So what do I want to use for an action? I think I'll get rid of the 2. We will go shopping. We'll buy. We will. Ooh, that's nice. Damn it. So we're going to go shopping. We're going to buy 2. Shall I buy 2? No, I'll just get 1. So I get some incense. Gonna have to check whether that gets used up or not. It's going to cost me 500, so I'm down to 9,500. What else can I do? I mean, I could buy some more stuff. Do I have to use an action every time I buy? No, you can buy any number of items in the same action, so I can buy more stuff if I want to. But again, it's going to cost money, innit? But some of this could be useful. Let's have a look. We got takoyaki, discard to restore 3 willpower, costs 500. We've also got a milkshake and latte. What do those do? Milkshake, discard to recover 2 willpower and gain a +1 to a push. And the latte, discard to gain +2 to a push. I think the milkshake should be quite useful. It's like a one-use thing. Discard to just recover 2 willpower. Now I do have 2 cards left, so technically I could move somewhere else and buy something. I think I'm going to buy the milkshake. I think that could be quite useful. So it's going to cost me another 1,000. So I'm down to 8,500, and I have milkshake. Okay. So, obviously I've got 2 cards left. Can I do anything else? I can basically go back to the hotel, get some rest. Got to pay 5,000. We recover 3 willpower, clear the tired state. You may discard any number of cards from my hand, shuffle the action discard pile back into the deck and draw back up to 4 cards. So now the next morning you may move to any location as a free action. I mean, I could do that and just go straight to the investigation. I can discard any of these. To be honest, I think I'll keep this hand. I mean, I know that there's not going to be many 4s in the action deck afterwards, but I think I'm going to keep this hand. So I think that's what we'll do. So we'll go back to the hotel. It's going to cost 5,000, so I'm down to 3,500. I think I'll leave it as it is, so this gets reshuffled. Now, I mean, as I've been playing this, I haven't seen anywhere that says I should reshuffle the challenge deck at the same time as I do my action deck. So I'm assuming that you don't. That's the way I've been playing it. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But we have rested for the night. I've got my hand of cards here, and we are ready to go to the river. Maybe it's sort of very early morning, like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. It's still kind of dark, and that's when I decide to go to the river while it's still dark. But I have got a good rest. I haven't lost any willpower. But we've got our new action deck ready. We've got our information. We're ready to go. There's a family who has this curse. Incense is going to be used to kind of bring the spirits and try and find out exactly what the hell is going on. Now, I think this video has been going on long enough. So we have done the research side of the game. In the next video, we're going to be doing the investigation side of the game. join me for that. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. My research from the town. We managed to overcome the challenges pretty well so far, but I'm a bit worried because we haven't seen any 8s yet, which means there's still 4 8s in there. But yes, join me in the next video. We shall go to the river and find out about this ghost or this haunting. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Stay safe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notify, comment. Thank you very much. Cheers.